You ever stumble across something on TV you weren't supposed to see? Something that wasn't meant for anyone but you saw it anyway? I did. I was 13 when it happened. Still remember the date, October 21st, 1997. After school, I was home alone, flipping through channels on a dusty little box TV in the basement. No remote, just that faint buzz of static electricity and the plastic dial clicking from one channel to the next. Then it landed on a dead channel. All black screen. But not quite black. There was a flicker, then a face. For maybe half a second, then back to black. I remember sitting there frozen, staring. I thought it was a glitch, or maybe a cable issue. But after a few seconds, the screen shifted again. Not to a show, not even to a commercial. Just to something. It looked like a children's program, cheaply made puppets in a cardboard forest. There was no title card, no theme music. Just, it started quietly. The puppets didn't move right. You know how puppets usually bounce around, try to seem full of life? These ones barely moved at all. They twitched, like someone forgot to pull the strings. They had glassy, vacant eyes and stiff little mouths. I couldn't tell what animal they were supposed to be. Bears, raccoons, maybe squirrels. All I remember was the color. Washed out and grayish, like an old memory. Then the camera pulled back. There was another puppet standing behind them. Tall, pale yellow fabric, huge round eyes black as tar. The rest of the scene just sort of blurred when he appeared, like the background didn't matter anymore. He never said anything. He didn't move. He just stared, right through the screen. I didn't blink. I couldn't. The weirdest part? There was no sound. None. Not even the static you'd expect. Just pure silence. I remember leaning closer to the screen, trying to see more detail, when the puppet's head turned. Not quickly. Slowly. Jerkily. Like it had to fight gravity just to look at me. And I swear his eyes adjusted. Like he could see me. I jumped back so hard I knocked the chair over. And then it cut to black. No credits. No station logo. Nothing. I told myself it was a dream. Or maybe I fell asleep for a few seconds. But the timestamp on the VCR was clear. It had played for exactly 28 minutes and 32 seconds. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I shut my eyes, I saw that puppet's face. And behind my eyelids, I could still feel him watching. It wasn't like remembering a scary movie. It was like someone had left a door open in my brain. The next day at school, I asked around. Nobody had seen it. Nobody had even heard of a show like that airing. I even called the station the local affiliate. They told me nothing was scheduled for that slot. Just syndicated news reruns. But a week later, I heard someone mention it. Not directly, but close. I was in the library, and this kid from another grade said to his friend, "Did you get that weird show the other night?" My ears perked up. I butted in, told them I saw it too. And the kid, whose name was Ryan, I think his whole face dropped. He said, "Was it the one with the trees and the big puppet?" I nodded. He didn't say anything else. Just packed his books and walked out of the library. Later that year, he transferred schools. I never saw him again. Over the next few years, I stopped thinking about it. Life moved on. Grew up. Got busy. Got normal. Then the internet came along. forums, lost media sites, creepy threads. And one night, in 2009, I saw it again. A post on a now-defunct image board. Someone uploaded a single, grainy still from a VHS tape. It was him. That puppet. Same yellow tunic. Same black, empty eyes. Same crooked stare. The file name was broadcastist102197.mpg. No one knew where it came from. Some people said it was fake. Others claimed they'd seen it too. What really got me were the comments. Dozens of them. People saying things like, "I watched this when I was little. I thought I imagined it. He's not part of the show. He's the one who sees the show. I dreamt about him for years. He tells you things when you sleep. He knows, say, who you are." And one comment I'll never forget, buried deep in the thread. "If you remember him, he remembers you." I shut my laptop. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. And then things started happening. My radio turned on by itself. Middle of the night. Nothing but dead air and the faint sound of whispering. My TV would flash black for half a second, just long enough for me to feel like something was standing there. One time, I woke up to find my bedroom door open. I always keep it shut. On the floor was a folded piece of paper, a drawing in crayon, shaky lines, childish but clear. It was a forest, a cardboard sun, 4 little animal puppets, and a tall yellow figure behind them, staring out. Underneath, written in red marker, "We're still watching. I burned that paper. Moved apartments. Threw out the old TV." It didn't help. A few months ago, someone sent me an email. No subject. No message body. Just a link. I don't know why I clicked it. I think I knew what it was before I even opened it. It brought me to a private streaming page. No title. No comments. Just a video window and a play button. 28 minutes. 32 seconds. I closed the tab. It came back the next day. Different link. Same play button. So I smashed my computer. Literally. Took a hammer to it. The link appeared on my phone 2 days later. I'm not going to watch it, because I know Ify I'll see him again. And this time, he'll see me too. You think this is just a story? Look at your recommended videos. Look closely. If you see a thumbnail with trees and a blurry yellow shape in the background, don't click. Don't watch. Don't remember. Because once you do, you're already part of the broadcast. It started with a tone. One of those high-pitched emergency tones that makes your spine itch. You know, the ones that play before a weather alert or an amber alert. Except this one didn't come from my phone, or the TV, or the radio. It came from my wall, specifically from behind it. At first, I thought it was my neighbor's smoke alarm. But the sound was too clean, too sharp, like it wasn't bouncing off surfaces. Like it wasn't meant to be heard, it was meant to be felt. It lasted exactly 12 seconds. And then silence. This was around 2:40 a.m. I'd just come home from a late shift, half asleep, too tired to investigate. Until it happened again the next night. Same time. Same tone. Same duration. That's when I knocked on the wall. The one it came from? No answer. I lived in apartment 311. My neighbor, Mr. Goldstein was in 312. He was an old man, quiet, kept to himself. We'd spoken maybe twice in 2 years. So when I knocked again, louder this time, and got no response, I got nervous. I called the building manager. 2 days later, they found Mr. Goldstein dead in his recliner. TV still on. Cup of tea on the table. No signs of struggle. No signs of illness. Just dead. But here's the part that stuck with me. The coroner said he'd been dead for about 4 days, which meant when I heard the tone he was already gone. That should have been the end of it. It wasn't. 3 nights later, I heard the tone again, but this time from the ceiling. I didn't sleep. I sat there, staring up at the popcorn tiles, heart racing, sweat soaking the back of my neck. The next day, I went to the tenant above me room 411, a middle-aged guy named Sam. But Sam hadn't been seen in over a week. His mail was piling up. The manager opened his door the next morning. Same story. Found dead. No injuries. No signs of distress. Just sitting there, eyes wide open, like he was waiting for something. I didn't wait around after that. I checked into a hotel, left everything behind. And that should have been the end of it. But it followed me. Not the sound, at first. The feeling. Like an invisible line had been drawn between me and something unseen. Something patient. I'd get flickers in the lights. Radios turning on to static. Clocks resetting themselves to 2:40 a.m. And then, one night in the hotel, the tone came back. Only this time, it wasn't 12 seconds. It was 13. And underneath it, there was something else. A whisper. So faint I almost didn't catch it. It said, "He heard it. You heard it. They're listening." I left the hotel before dawn. Got in my car, drove west, didn't stop for hours. Didn't tell anyone where I was going. Left my phone behind. Somewhere in Nevada, middle of nowhere, I pulled over and rented a room at a roadside motel. No electronics. No signals. No reason for that sound to find me again. But it did. It came from the vent this time. And when I pressed my ear to it, I didn't hear static. I heard breathing. Labored. Wet. Like someone struggling to stay alive. And underneath it, the tone began again. But this time, it didn't stop. It went on for minutes. 10, 15, 20, until it slowly, horribly shifted into a voice I recognized. My own. Saying, he shouldn't have listened. That's when I started digging. Not metaphorically, literally. I pried open the back of the vent and followed the duct with a flashlight and a screwdriver. It led me down through the wall, into the motel's maintenance corridor. There, behind a bolted panel, I found an old junction box. It had no labels, no manufacturer. Just one switch flipped on. I turned it off. Instant silence. For the first time in weeks, the air felt still. I went back to my room, exhausted, and passed out. And I dreamt of a signal. A place. Somewhere underground, full of concrete and blinking red lights. Rows of machines humming in unison. A voice mine again reading a message on repeat. This is a national emergency. Please remain indoors. This is a national emergency. Please remain indoors. But no one was in the room. No cameras. No listeners. Just the echo of the broadcast, bouncing endlessly off empty walls. When I woke up, my hotel room had changed. The furniture was still there, my suitcase, my keys, but the walls were wrong. The wallpaper had peeled away. The light bulbs were dead, and the mirror in the bathroom showed an angle that didn't match reality. It reflected a man standing behind me. Only when I turned around there was no one there. I left the motel, earned my clothes, cut my hair, changed my name. Anything to break the pattern. I moved off-grid. No address, no electricity. And for a while, it worked. Until yesterday. I was walking near a dry riverbed when I found a weathered piece of metal sticking out of the sand. An old sign, half buried. I dug it out. It said, "Broadcast Relay Station 9, do not approach without clearance." I had never been there before, but I knew what it was. Because underneath the rust, someone had carved 4 words into the metal. 4 words I'd been trying to forget. It's not a test. And then I heard it again, high above. A faint buzzing tone. Coming from the sky. You think you're safe because you haven't heard it yet? That's not how it works. The tone doesn't find you, you find it. And once you do, it never stops listening.